next.
Okay. We down to our 1 minute, or we're good to go?
You're good to go.
Okay. I'd like to welcome everybody to the July 18th HPB board meeting. And before we start, does anyone need to recuse themselves from any?
I will for 11 Washington Road.
Okay, noted. Anyone else? Okay. I'd also like to start the meeting. I propose that we have a motion to start this particular meeting. Do I have a second?
Second the motion.
Okay.
Okay, roll call. I'm sorry, trustee Dabrowski? Member Dabrowski?
You don't want that.
Yeah.
Wrong
Or
board.
do you?
Member Evans?
Yes.
I'll get with it. Member Olson?
Here.
Member Searle? Chairperson Pollard? Wow.
Yes. Okay,
Thank you.
we're starting.
It's okay, I'll get to it.
And Dorothea said that 18 Eastview is joining us.
And I'm going
remote.
to open them up so they can speak to the board.
Okay.
Okay, David Nutera, you should be able to speak now.
David, welcome. Can you hear us?
You need to unmute yourself.
Hi, this is David. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you. Glad you're here. Okay.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you. I think we reviewed your application at the last meeting, and
That's right.
we agreed that we would review it again at this meeting and vote again.
Right.
We have two new members here. Do you guys have any questions for David?
It's my understanding this door is going to be the same door that was the same style, same everything as the door that was already replaced.
Yes.
Is that accurate?
Okay. Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry. I think I lost the audio for a second. Would you mind repeating the question?
I just wanted to clarify, it's my understanding the door is completely identical in every way for a door that was already approved.
That's correct. The door is exactly the same door that was approved by this board a couple of months ago for me to install in my garage.
Okay.
Thank you.
I have no questions.
Questions? All right.
And I was just going to confirm, is there a screen door that'll
Correct.
be?
There is a storm door. Yep, there's a storm door.
Okay.
Thank you, David.
All right.
Thanks.
Is it the same storm door, or is it a new storm door? Do we have, if it's a new one, do we have information about that new door?
It's going to be the same storm door.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Any other questions of David? All right. Do we have a motion to?
I have a question for Daniel and Chris.
Yeah.
This is we've looked at this before. You both feel like you've got enough information
Yes.
to make the decision, understand it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Do we have a motion to approve this door as proposed for 18 Eastview Terrace?
Excuse me, that's a leading suggestion. Jeff.
Hmm?
That's a leading suggestion there.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's
Is there a
vote
motion?
on the motion
Is there a
to
motion on the application?
table for this application at 18 Eastview.
I'd like to move at this meeting of the HPB on July 18th, 2022, that we accept and approve the application for 18 Eastview Terrace. As written, it will be the same door that was approved on May 16th, and findings of fact that it is compatible with our building design standards, and it will not create a negative impact on the historic resource.
I second the motion.
As do I, Member Olson.
Okay. All right.
1 second, and now we just need to vote.
Okay, roll call. Member Searle?
My objections remain the same, I vote no.
Member Evans?
Yes.
Member Olson? Member Dubrowski?
Yes.
Chair Polley?
Yes. Thank you very much, David.
So I just want to make sure I got that. So was it approved?
Yes, it is.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate it.
You're most welcome.
Take care.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. 42 Monroe Avenue. Do we have Jack here?
Can we put this now?
Yeah.
Can you just pull up the chairs?
Yeah.
Bring them up.
Sorry.
So you guys did a work on a pool house or like an extension of the garage?
We did, yeah.
Okay,
This is
yeah, that's right.
a different plan
Yeah, got it, yes.
instead of that one,
All right.
I'm sorry, instead of,
instead of,
okay, you're not doing the pool house.
correct.
Okay, because I was going to say, if the pool house is going, it would be good to see how those two additions to the structures relate to one another. But if you're not doing that, then
We
there you
got
go.
into the cost of it, and we thought it made more sense to do this one.
Okay.
The bottom line kind of hits you
Okay.
Yes, it
right
does.
upside the head.
Yes, it does.
Want to tell us a little bit about it and just a thumbnail? And we have obviously the elevations and the before elevations as well.
We're proposing 2 additions. One is a conservatory off to the east of the property, of the house. It's a 12 by 12 sunroom, basically. It'll be roofed over with shingles. It'll just be glass. And a pair of sidelights going out to the east, and then to the south and the north will be windows. They'll be stucco to match the house. The windows will have simulated divided lights. Again, to match the house. And then we're doing an addition to the kitchen, which is way in the back of the house. It's on the north side. And it'll be a 2-story addition. And again, I think it's 12 by 30 maybe. So it's 12 by 30, 2 floors, and the conservatory is 1 floor. Yeah, all the materials are going to be matching the existing house. All the windows and doors are, again, to match existing.
So I'm looking at this plan. I was looking at it, now I'm just looking at it. Okay. This is the conservatory, and this is the kitchen addition.
Right. And Monroe Avenue is,
Yeah, no, I get that part.
yeah.
I'm looking at the north elevation as proposed. It looks like there's a door right here below
Yes.
the grade. Talk a little bit about that.
We're going to be utilizing the basement level for the powder room or a bathroom for the pool.
Mhm.
And so we'll be coming down to that level,
Okay.
which will be probably 5 or 6 risers down from the kitchen area, and then another few risers down to the bottom.
And it's completely not visible from the street.
Completely
Correct,
not-
from the back of the house.
Yep.
Thank you for your nice and clear drawings.
Yes. Yeah. Easy to follow. Okay. We have comments?
I'm just,
Jenny?
and I apologize. It would be easier for me to understand and not ask the questions here, but I'm just wondering if, it's too small for me to read, I'm sorry. Are the dimensions, well, I think it's important to make the point for the record that that we're looking at this drawing. Are the sizes, are all the requirements, excuse me, of the application being met regarding window sizes? There's an instrument survey map there, drawings to scale. Sizes and styles of windows must be shown on the drawings, indicate new and existing or replacement. So my question is, I can't tell. I can see your proportions. Well, I know, but that's not what this board is looking at. Unless you're going to enter those drawings into the record, those drawings, full-size drawings into the record, I feel like I just have to ask the question.
I mean, that's fine, but I thought that this was part of the application.
Oh, well, yes, it would be. But we haven't seen it. Could I take a look at it, please?
I'll be happy to.
And is this going to stay here with us?
Yeah, the same
yeah.
version, but bigger.
Actually, those are the reduced versions of this.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And this will stay with us?
I think I dropped off your copy already, but I will make sure that.
I'm sorry. No. Because I'm over here, so I want to take it.
Well, let's take a look at that. Just to
Yeah,
clarify, you know,
I just want all the documentation that's required.
are all the existing windows, doors, wood?
I know.
yeah. And it's also the same stucco.
Same stucco.
Yeah.
And there's a little water table. It's got a little
Okay.
detail to it.
Yeah.
And I didn't get that part.
Yeah.
But this is
How are you able to match the color on that? It's sort of a yellow. Yeah. So that's tomorrow's problem, okay.
Yeah, would you repaint the entire house or re-stucco?
I don't,
What sort of matching would it be?
I can't imagine repainting the whole house just to match it. I mean, it's going to be pretty close.
Yeah.
And there may be 10-year fading problems, but I can imagine when it's done.
Well, I think color's not really our purview anyway.
Is it going to be EIFS or is it going to be Portland cement stucco?
I think it's going to be Portland cement. That's what we have now.
That's why I'm asking. I know that's the existing. That house was renovated. I can't tell you exactly when, but it actually has clapboard siding underneath there.
Oh, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is the original Sutherland home.
Mhm.
It was 2002.
Pardon me?
I think 2002, maybe they did the kitchen renovation.
Oh, no. This was stuccoed back in
Yeah.
like the early 1900s.
Ones, I believe.
Thank you. I see that all of the window dimensions are shown, and I apologize.
Oh, you
I
have to-
missed
you have to
the
reduce.
enlarged, I missed the 11 by 17. Thank you very much.
Those are yours if you want.
Okay.
And then this is-
Yeah. Block positioning, yeah. Okay. More questions? Down here? No? Kendall?
Nope, I asked my question, so.
Okay, you did? All right, good.
My question was about the stuff.
Oh, the stucco, okay. Jenny?
No, I'll make a motion if you're ready.
Okay, go
I'll make a
ahead.
motion to approve the application as presented.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, very good.
Do we have findings?
Yeah, do we have findings of that there?
Yeah, I'll present findings. The residence at 42 Monroe Avenue is a contributing structure to the Village of Pittsburgh Historic District as well as the National Register District. The proposed additions are in keeping with the Village of Pittsburgh design guidelines and the Secretary of the Interior standards. And exterior materials will match existing historic materials. and the additions present no negative impact on the resource.
Good.
Member Dabrowski?
Second motion.
Yeah, roll call vote, sorry.
Roll call.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Member Olson?
Yes.
Member Evans?
Yes.
Member Searle? Chair Powell?
Yes,
Motion passes.
very good. Good luck.
Good luck.
Enjoy. Yeah.
See you.
Everyone loves good construction projects. Everyone loves a good construction project. I just have to be turned upside down.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, next on the agenda is 63 State Street. We have Nancy O'Neill here. Okay. Please come on. Welcome.
Nancy, are you,
Yeah.
are you the Nancy? I hear from Cynthia all the time.
I think my sister went to school with you. I asked her, and I knew your mother. I used to work at the Landmark Society, and your name is awfully familiar.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah.
Well, you knew who, my mother?
Martha Gay?
Yes, Martha.
Yeah.
I don't remember you.
Oh, well, I didn't. I mean, she came into the office a lot, and I can remember who she was. I didn't really know her.
Sorry, I needed to place you.
Okay,
Okay.
so you're doing a fence extension.
Yeah.
Relocation and extension, correct?
Yeah, well, when I first put the fence piece up, I brought it back onto my property for, so my neighbors, my previous neighbors there could use it as storage and garbage and all of that. I'm having a little bit of difficulty with the neighbor there now. So I don't, and part of the fence then went onto their property, just a little bit, just the facing that faces the street. So I want to bring that back so it's not on her property. I just want everything legal and on my side. And I also want to redo the gate. It's looking pretty crummy. It was about 10
Okay.
years ago.
And you said some comment about going 9 feet beyond the property.
Yes, I've been in touch
the
with the
canal.
state, and they're all
Okay.
set to go.
Oh, all
And
right.
I just want to, it's just, I have my property line staked out, so I just want to go right up to the tree. Probably won't go as far because of the roots and everything, but I just want to have that much privacy where I don't peer into their
Yeah.
yard.
Jeff, is there any legal issue with us potentially approving a structure that's on state property?
No, it's up to your problem if they don't approve it. I mean,
Okay,
if they don't, if the state doesn't approve it, she's not gonna be able to go.
They've already approved it. They're waiting for your
Okay.
approval.
I'm just asking
Yeah, it's a
the
good point.
question of
I
legalities.
thought the same thing.
I think that was everyone's question
Yeah,
about the 9 feet
exactly.
onto
Yeah.
state property.
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's
well,
been approved.
So if you have.
As
Can we
soon
have that on
as-
file,
as
like
they're
that?
waiting for your permit, as soon as I'm working with Kevin
Oh,
Kearns.
so they need the permit before they'll give you a permit.
Correct.
Can you get us a copy?
Oh, sure, of course.
From that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. That's good.
Is it fair to say that our purview is limited to the 9 feet and not to relocation or reconstruction in the same style?
No, we go with that. It's essentially a new fence in a different location. She's going to put up exactly what it was and we wouldn't have to.
Right. Okay. Just while you're looking this way, is that what you're matching that?
Yeah.
Okay.
My neighbor on the other side, I know Rusty Likely, he put his fence up that looked like that, so I matched it, and I'm going to continue that look all the way
Okay,
down.
okay, good, that's good. All right. Any questions? What's going on?
How long has the existing style been there?
I'm sorry, what?
How long has the existing style been in place?
Silo.
The style of fence?
How long has the fence been there?
Oh, well, the other side, my fence since 2012.
Did you say Rusty Likely put?
He put one up on, he lived next door to me, and he put the other one up.
Yes, if that matches this one,
Yeah.
must be likely. His,
Let's go to.
he's been around for a while.
Well, he's gone
I
now.
know.
Yeah.
He's been around so long, he's gone. So that fence
Yeah.
has been there a very long time.
Yeah, okay, yeah. All right. Any other questions? Chris, Dan? I hear none.
I'll make a motion to approve the application as presented.
Okay, we have second?
I'll second.
Okay.
Finding?
Anybody else want to give it a whirl? The structure is a contributing resource in the Village of Pittsburgh Historic District as well as the National Register Historic District. It is matching an existing previously approved fence, and it presents no negative impact on the resource.
Right.
Okay, roll call vote. Member Searle?
Yes.
Member Evans?
Yes.
Member Olson?
Yes.
Member Petrowski?
Yes.
Chair
The
Power?
Landmark Society.
Yes.
She
Motion
used to come in
passes.
when Billy Harrington was there. and
Oh, I don't remember my mother ever going to that.
I think she just came back through, but I can see her.
I don't doubt that she did.
Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you very much, appreciate it.
Okay. Okay. South 1620, South Main Street. Ah, okay.
How are you?
Good, thanks. Good, coming in.
Thank you.
It's a fence around a generator? Is that-
Yes.
Okay. Let me see. Okay. All right. And there was a change made in this?
I'm sorry, is this a
the back.
representation of the fence?
No, so it's
What
gonna
is
be
this black
different.
line? What is this black
So
lines that I'm looking at
can
there?
I just turn it
Of
around for you?
course.
Okay, so there is an egress right here. There's stairs down. The generator pad and fence will be to the right of it.
Okay,
So,
so these are existing stairs going down to a
Exactly.
low grade level?
exactly.
With a railing that has nothing to do with it?
No,
Well, it's
it almost looked to me as though the railing had been drawn on there.
Nope.
because
Yeah, I think it
the
might be a
image is
shadow.
a little-
No,
It does look that way, yeah.
For that, yeah.
Okay,
you're welcome.
well, all right.
Is that the same with the garbage cans? I take it they won't be located there, that just happened to be where they were in the picture.
In the picture, yeah.
Okay.
This is the railing, that's the existing one, but what is the?
So the material on this fence now is, you think it,
Wood, solid wood fence, after conversation with Steve.
Right.
The vinyl didn't make any sense due to the heat that comes out of it, so the wood was the best next choice between that and obviously the chain link wasn't gonna
right,
fly, so.
Yeah. now is this,
It's 4 feet tall, 1x6, pressure treated dog-eared wood pickets.
Yes,
is it natural or going to be painted white? Some of the
natural.
front? Natural?
mhm,
Okay.
pressure treated.
Is the galvanized post visible?
They will not be.
The fence man.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Can't wait for your.
Okay. All right. Any other questions for this? Jenny, any questions?
No,
No? Fence man, no?
No.
No, okay. All right.
The update is perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do we have a motion? Well, finding of facts, back to board, but motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the application as presented, as submitted.
All right,
I'll second it.
okay.
Findings.
The resource is a contributing resource in the contributing structure in the Village of Pittsburgh Historic District as well as the National Register District.
Complies with our.
It complies with, thanks, it complies with the Village of Pittsburgh design standards as well as the Secretary of the Interior standards. Presents no negative impact to the resource, and it's also reversible, I would say.
Yeah.
Could I add the reversibility to Ms. O'Neill's application as well?
Yeah. Okay, roll call vote. Member Dubrowski,
Yes.
Member Olson,
Yes.
Member Evans,
Yes?
Member Searle,
Yes.
Chair Pollak.
Yes.
See, I knew which board I was with. Motion passes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys,
Okay,
appreciate
thank
it.
you. Okay. 6 Elm Street. Okay. You're Justin?
Yes, sir.
Welcome. Okay. And this is your sort of reconfiguring, taking this fence out. So
Yeah.
this fence is going, and you're proposing a new,
Yes.
it's substantially around it, I think?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. According to the color coding here.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
What is the allowed height for a front yard fence?
3 foot, my understanding.
That's what I thought. And there's a 4-foot fence being proposed here.
Not in the front.
Oh, those
It's 3.
3.
It says 3.
Yeah, this one yellowed it
Oh, in the
orange.
back?
Sorry?
Yeah, I read that there's
Oh, I'm
proposed
sorry.
4-foot fence.
Yeah, the yellow part,
Yes, no. When I looked at it briefly at home, you'll have to forgive me, I'm still a little.
Current fence that's there in the corner is almost 4 foot.
and it looked high, yeah.
Yeah, it's been there since Louis Cipro was there, the previous owner.
Uh-huh.
On the west side of the house? Right on the front corner. There used to be another one, that same fence went from the left corner of the house of the garage over to the existing fence. But when we sold the house, he was getting some stuff out of the back and we cut it down with a chainsaw.
Oh,
So
okay.
it does say proposed 4-foot fence right here. If that was allowed, ideally I would. But that isn't part of your application? I don't remember how I wrote that up.
No, it's not in the official application, it doesn't, it says 3 foot.
Okay, that was confusing.
That's what I
It says.
thought.
It's written in there, though.
It is written on this,
Yeah.
we thought that was written part of this.
But the color coding,
But then the color coding is
Okay.
Just to clarify, because it doesn't look like it's highlighted, the addition is to close off the side yard, correct? On the
That
west.
is correct, yep. And, I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
Dorothea.
Dorothea, there should be a picture, oh yeah, it should be, of what, yeah. I'm actually not a fan of that style, but,
What is this?
It is consistent with the existing.
yes.
What is this image part of your application?
That used to be an image of my old application I was doing a year ago, yeah.
So this is not the style that you were planning to use for the 3 foot in the front?
Ideally, I'd like to use that, or I could go with wood, whatever is, that's, gonna be approved. I mean, obviously, I would rather have it be looking like a cast iron, like, almost exactly like the one you have out on the side of the staircase here, And it's also, from the building standpoint, a lot cheaper than wood nowadays. And, the upkeep and maintenance of having to constantly paint it. But I have a small child and a dog, so that's part of the real reasons why,
No.
yeah.
What is your preference?
Ideally, my preference would be that it would be like an black aluminum to look like old cast iron.
Right.
Yes.
Which the problem is you can't have a fence higher than 4 feet that is aluminum without CBA approval.
Wait a minute. What's the difference between a 6-foot fence at the rear of his property? What difference does it make if it's wood or it's metal?
The code says it makes a difference.
Oh. Okay.
Don't ask me to explain it.
I didn't write the code, neither did you.
I did not.
Okay. Would you have any interest in pursuing a variance?
It's not even a variance, it's just an approval.
Pardon me?
It's just an approval from the ZBA. It's not really a variance. There are a couple of considerations they have to make to give you metal instead of wood.
Right. So if your preference is for metal,
Yes.
and you
it
wanted
is.
to wait a month to put forward the fence you really want to have to the ZBA, the zoning and planning.
Yeah, I was
Board
just
of
there
Appeals,
last week.
And they said no?
No, I was there for something else.
Oh.
The driveway's getting redone, so. This was, I was honestly, I was gonna do this, but because of the conundrum between the wood and the metal fence
Right.
last year, I kind of got frustrated and
Yeah.
gave up. And now I'm like, back to that project.
Okay.
You know, so,
Well,
I got no problem doing that. I mean, my yard's gonna be tore up
Okay.
in a month anyways.
Well, my
And I
question
can't
is-
do anything until the driveway's done.
if you're going to do it, and you would prefer to have the metal,
Yes.
and you don't mind waiting a month, you should pursue it if that's what you want. In my opinion, there's no reason to, if there's a possibility, and all it is an approval, not a variance.
Then yes, I would like to go that route.
Yeah.
I think it would look a whole lot better on the house. I think it would match a lot of the styles that are around here that have a cast iron look to them.
Well, certainly, if that's what you want to do,
Yeah,
I would suggest you should.
and especially on a wood fence, I think that fence that's there is hideous. But,
I actually can't speak for everybody here, but I would note that personally, before you go through all that, I mean, at least from what you're illustrating here, this seems to be more of a railing than a fence, and those are kind of the same thing. I mean, they're not exactly substantially similar. It personally I know aluminum can be a good option. It's just, it's not a material I would believe would be consistent with the character of your home. Aluminum fences really only became popular 20 years ago. Whereas, have you pursued it raw iron or other options in terms of that?
well, yeah, I mean, but it would cost me probably close to $100,000 to put a wrought iron fence in, yeah. I mean, and again, you know, I think there's excellent products that are out there that very mimic the look of that. Now, obviously, if I walked up to it and I was close, and, you know, I would know that it's probably not cast iron,
Yeah.
but, you know, from afar, looking at the character of the house, I think we could get it to mimic it very well.
And these products span the driveway, the width of the driveway? I noticed you've got this across the driveway.
Well, ideally, I would have also a
Yeah,
gate
a little
there.
pin or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the kids can remember like that.
Well, I guess if we're looking at a shadow box type fence, wood fence, the house is a little more high style to me, and
Yeah.
I would think a little more formal fencing would be more appropriate.
Not only that, I believe the code does, you would need a more open picket if it's in the front yard. Whereas the shadow box doesn't really have much openness to the frame of it.
Right.
Yeah, whatever is gonna make my
So
house
if
look
it's-
nicer.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
If it's not what you really want.
yeah, I mean,
want
it's
you
not, I
to
want
pursue
something.
what you really want.
Yeah, but I'm kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place between here and the building, and I'm not a builder, so I'm trying to do this through myself and go through the process, so
Yeah, yeah.
I'm learning as I'm doing this, so.
I think Chris is right, though. You ought to have some idea before you spend the extra time doing this. It might be something that could be approved by this board.
Yeah, well,
So
there,
that discussion can happen now in terms
there's,
of how the board members feel.
there's a metal fence on top of the stone wall from the Pittsford Farms Dairy. That would be an example of one in the village. There aren't a lot of metal fences that I can.
There's one between the Del Monte and the gas station. That's-
But that would be new.
Yeah.
Because the Del Monte is new.
Right, no, yeah, I'm just saying, but that is kind of a similar
Yeah.
style, meant to look like a wrought iron fence.
Mhm.
I think that one is over 4 foot between there.
Well,
Yeah.
the height is a separate issue.
Yeah, okay. But I do like that style, it's got character to it,
Mhm.
like beveled edges on the top,
Right, right.
yeah.
I think the whole board is what they think,
Yeah.
about this kind of fence.
Okay. And then come back here, or?
No, I'm thinking right now.
Oh, right now?
Yeah, we need to
Yes.
decide what it looks like for this job.
As a point of clarification, where I stand, I'd be much more comfortable with you pursuing a wood fence over an aluminum fence, just from a material perspective. I mean, I completely understand.
Yeah, I mean, 4x4 is $90, and that fence is,
I was trying to get lumber instead of Home Depot.
yeah. But I mean, but that's really what it came down to is cost, is because, I mean, wood has
Right now, right?
tripled in cost. And, if, the wood was the thing that I had to do to approve it, it's fine. But I would not probably do the whole thing all in one shot. It would probably take me, this year, I would do the one side and then next year finish it up, just,
It's tough.
yeah.
So we're thinking, just vote on what you propose.
No, we're not voting.
No,
He's,
no, we're
it's
just
more of an
looking for guidance.
information only, I think, is kind of what's happening right now. And so
Yeah.
we talk about
Or what we
it,
would,
so that-
okay.
So right in front of you, there is now a wood application. But he's asking for information only, what you would do with
Oh, thank you.
not a wrought iron fence, but just metal aluminum fence.
Mhm.
If I'm getting that correct.
Yeah.
Right, if we were talking about a wrought iron fence, I would be much more
Yeah.
on board with that. I don't want to see an aluminum fence up front, that's just me, so you'd have to give me a reason to convince me of it, and again, not the height, not whatever, but woods, I want wood pickets, I want something, would be where I stand.
Well, I'm also a fan of the style of that wood fence, so, I mean, do you have other styles that would be similar that
Traditional
are?
picket, anything.
Right, in
that's
front,
open,
like, it
yeah,
doesn't need to
open.
be a shadow in front,
Right.
just a picket fence. right?
We wouldn't even want it to look like this.
No, personally,
Privacy fence in the back, I know.
This is okay for backyard
Similar
stuff,
to how
but
you
the front
have
should
a
be.
facade with two different building materials, it's often fine to have two different fence styles, especially when you're looking at different
Front.
height elevations, front to back, privacy versus more
Yeah.
openness. There are a lot of very, very nice styles, just in and around your house. Particularly like I think of the one on French Road, that's just a very clean, plain picket. You can
You want it there in the Grove Street?
pretty much, yeah. I mean, doing a curve like that is just art, but, yeah, there's quite a few also over here.
Is there
More in front yard fences, but.
Is there any opportunity to continue that across the entire property?
You said you didn't like that, though. Is that what?
Well, I like the style of how it's here. I just don't like that the rods are rectangle. I would rather see like a smoother, something with a little bit more class. Those are just kind of like 2x2s, or like fir strips that make up that fence. I think it kind of cheapens it, but something like that with a white 4x4 post. I like the curve, just maybe the slats being slightly different.
The narrower spindles are actually not uncommon in historic fences.
Completely.
I own a book on historic fences.
Mhm.
I'd be willing to meet you here at the office and you could look through it. I don't want to give it to anybody.
No, that's fine. I mean, if that's okay, I have no problem with that fence, just the slightly adjustment to the spindles, because I kind of want to.
Yeah.
But
And that's your own personal touch.
Yeah.
It's completely and wholly appropriate.
Okay.
All right.
That's the art, I guess, of it.
Right.
That's how you like.
Yeah.
So, the path forward on something like this is that, do you want to have something concrete to propose, or do you want to?
Well, right now, the fence in the back that goes from the corner over, that's going to be wood, chances are, no matter what, because it's got to match that. So
Yeah.
I would like approval on that. And then,
So
And
the
is that
6-foot
this
fence
fence?
in the rear?
what's that?
Is the fence that you're matching this
Yes.
fence?
Okay.
And where,
I mean, ideally, I don't know who actually even owns this side of the fence, if it's on my property, if it's on the neighbor's property. I mean,
your instrument survey map that you got when you purchased the property should show that.
yeah, I don't know off the top of my head, though.
It's just the orange
Yeah.
shaded.
Yeah.
Okay.
Does it show it's on mine?
Yeah.
Because sometimes, I might say, take it down and put a different style up, but,
Well, it looks like it's right on the line,
yeah,
right here.
thanks.
You should probably ask your neighbor if they think it's theirs.
I mean, for simple purposes, I can match that. I mean, I would also say, because I heard you ask the question whether or not you were going to leave it unpainted for one of the other previous applicants. Would painting it white be against anything? Like a white picket fence like that?
You want, like, no?
We don't have
Don't get any
jurisdiction
paint.
over color.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
And you do
it's
have.
fine on the back side where you don't see it, but it's going to be, on the front there, back
I just
corner.
wanted before you go down the rabbit hole, that seems to be really pain in the butt, seems to.
I know, just that little thing there was a pain in the butt, some of the other paintwork, yeah.
Right here, if you see.
I have a paint sprayer, but.
Yeah, I was gonna say, put cardboard on the backside.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We want that, yeah. Right. Okay, so you want to come back and propose that?
Well, I think if my better option is that if I go with the metal, then I still have to come back here and then run the rest of that. I'd rather just move forward and then put the wood in and be done with it. And then I could save myself a month of time and
Yeah.
I'd rather do it while my yard's getting tore up instead of having it tore up for the whole fall.
And that's for privacy in that little section. That's like
Yes.
26
Okay.
foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful.
Essentially, so I can let my dog out the back door and I don't have to,
Stretch that out.
yeah.
So are we approving this in two parts? I'm confused as to.
Okay, well, I was going to ask, do we really have a rendering?
No, I was just going to bring that up. We have no information beyond this photograph
Right,
of what the new fence will look like, and only the 4-foot section will be this, or 3-foot section will be this, is that correct?
Well, that's actually higher than,
yeah, but
Okay,
in that
this
design.
yes,
will be this
yes,
design.
yes.
So I think we need a resubmission with clarification on what's going where. And if you don't like the size of the spindle, we would need to know the size of the spindle, because there's a relationship between the size of the spindle and the size of the void, dimensions on your, it's a double top rail, the posts are higher, the posts have looks like a metal cap on, that sort of thing. They're details that we would want to see on any fence, and this is fine, but we'd also want to know more information about this.
So in the back, you just want to fill in 9 feet matching what's there. Is that right?
I don't know if it's 9 foot or how, but yes, I want from the corner of my house over to that.
Yeah.
So you could do that if you know what that fence is.
It would be the exact same fences.
Yeah, so you could do that, and then you come back with the full information. Do you have another copy of this
I do,
without anything on it?
yes.
I would make a copy of that and then put in exactly where the 3-foot picket fence is going to go, because there's a lot of lines on here.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I understand it, but I don't know the color either.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that probably makes it much more clear. Anyway, so you can approve the back, and then if you're going to approve it,
We can
and then submit an actual rendering of the 3-foot that you want to put in.
I think,
Okay.
but I think it's.
All right, we get to that
Jeff is
next
talking
month.
about is just a 9-foot
There's no
section.
publication, so you can figure it out next month.
Some
Okay.
9-foot section that he wants to join to
We'll do that.
what already exists.
All right,
And that's not clear. I don't think if we're going to look at something tonight, even if it's matching the existing, it needs to be, the application needs to be revised to indicate what exactly is being approved tonight. And even if it's just you marking on the applications that we see in front of us.
Yeah.
This is what I'm going to do in this area.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. You just want me to draw or write on one,
Yeah.
initial that I adjusted it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then we need to vote on the amendment, accepting the amendment.
No, you don't, not accepting, approval.
Okay.
You have to vote to accept it.
I'm sorry for taking up so much of your
No,
time.
not at all.
We just want to make sure you get.
I think you've got a good
And there's
path forward,
almost
though.
two different things going on there
Get it
too.
right and get it wrong, and have to come back.
Well, we have 3 different things.
Yeah, now we have
What do you
three,
what
yeah.
wants to approve? So we will work on it now.
Do you different
I was gonna look at like maybe a red pen, something with a different color, make it easy to read.
Red pen department?
Yep.
Okay.
I have a red pen right here, Dorothy.
Already.
I know I had it,
Thank you so
and
much.
then I couldn't find it.
Okay.
So I just put amended application for 6-foot fence, same style. Is that start
Okay.
that's how?
We started there. I'd like him to look. Make sure we know exactly the length of the 6-foot fence and that it matches materials in kind.
Yeah.
So this red line right here, right? So it's going?
Yep, so, yes.
To connect
So
what the
that
existing
is-
fence to the,
It's 34.43 feet from that corner of the house.
Yeah, I think that's where the red line is where the fence, matching fence is gonna go.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And the existing is that photograph that we're seeing, is that correct?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
what was the length again, Jamie, since you can see it?
So are you putting a fence that's going to divide your backyard?
Yes.
Well, his house faces that way, so the driveway goes up.
Yeah, it's a little,
Okay,
it's a
okay,
little,
so-
yeah, it's sideways.
So
Yeah.
it's closing off the backyard, and then the lower fence will go from there.
Yes.
Got it.
Is there an opening over there to your house, or are you adding a gate as well?
I would put a small gate, access gate in there on the corner.
In this that we're approving right now, because we need to approve that too. The gate's going into it.
We don't know what the gate's going to look like.
It would be the same as the fence. It would just be cut in half, put hinges on it. It would look the exact same thing and go right into the fence, unless you want an actual fence door.
I don't think that's necessary.
Yeah.
We just need to know what it's going to look like.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
Again, I'm sorry, some of this stuff I didn't think of until you mentioned it.
So I guess my question, Chairperson Pollock, would be how to put all of that as an amended application, right? I'd like to make a motion to approve the amended application for a 32, how long is it?
Extension,
A,
as indicated on this drawing,
indicated on the drawing, in red.
right here.
And attach a photograph of the shadow box fence.
Yeah.
Right, with a photograph of the shadow box fence, and with a gate with the same fence.
Same material, it'll
Yep.
be in kind, and it follows.
Constructed to not disrupt the rhythm of the panels.
And do we need to give permission for the hinge for a gate?
No.
No, it's just like material,
Yes.
same material, okay. All right.
Well, we don't typically address hardware, whether it's door hardware or gate.
No, just if
hardware.
it was going to be different looking, like a ornamental gate in some way. I wanted to know what we were voting on. That's
Do you have
why.
enough for that to be the motion or not?
I do.
Fine.
Okay. Okay, good.
So somebody say so move.
So moved.
Second.
The findings of fact is that it
Yeah.
applies with our, it's compatible with our building and design codes, and it does not
Fences.
have any negative impact on the historic resource.
According to
Matches
page
the
80.
existing fence.
Yeah.
And it's reversible.
That's true. Okay,
Okay, roll call vote. Member Searle,
Yes.
Member Evans,
Yes.
Member Olson,
Yes.
Member Dubrowski,
Yes.
Chair Powell,
yes,
motion passes.
And to be clear, it's just the red line. That was part of the motion that we hobbled together. Okay.
So I will fill out another one of these.
You just put amended at the top, we won't charge an application fee.
Okay,
yeah,
okay, thank you.
great,
Saves me 80.
I mean,
Finish your sentence, you'll fill out another one of these for
for the rest.
the rest of the property,
With, yes.
When you're ready to do the front.
when you're
Yeah.
ready to do the front.
And I'll have some exact pictures and I'll bring for
Let's give this to Dorothy.
Okay.
what those railings would look like in
Yes.
wood.
Okay,
said more appropriately.
No, so that, we're gonna, you don't need that, that's that small.
Yeah, I know.
Save you some dollars.
great.
Awesome,
Thank you so much. Okay. Now, next.
So I just reach out to, I don't need anything from the building inspector, right, or?
Yes, you do.
Well,
Yeah, you do.
you're gonna need a building permit to put up, unless you wanna wait to do everything at once, you'll need a building permit to put up what we just approved.
Okay, so I'll get with him then tomorrow.
Yeah, he'll figure out what the best way is for you to do it,
Okay,
permitting-wise.
awesome, thank you, guys, good night.
Okay,
You too.
we have 49 South Main Street, Newcomb. Anyone here from?
Yeah, it's right there.
Okay,
Behind the pool.
okay. You're looking to put new steps in?
Yes.
Did you already put new steps in?
No.
No, just took out the old ones.
Yes, they were crumbling.
Yeah. Okay. So just so I understand that there's side blocks that define each side of these steps. Are they still there? Look like in the picture.
No, they're gone. They were the things that were crumbling the most.
What are you
I
going,
had a bunch of pictures.
Yeah, right
Yeah.
here. That's
well,
what
we
it
have
was.
pictures. What are you going to use in place of the rusticated block?
Oh,
Well, the rusticated block is totally unavailable.
I don't know.
So we're just going to do either just a simple forward step without the side.
Without the cheek walls?
steps. What?
Without the cheek walls?
Yes,
That's what those are
and
called.
then just use the existing wrought iron railing that was there. Or we can put the cheek wall on, but after consulting historic architect type people, they suggested I don't use those side things and just minimize the width of the steps, because the
Yeah,
whole post there will still be visible, and that will match the rest of the house better.
so this whole segment will be
Untouched,
removed untouched?
untouched, yep. I'm gonna leave all that.
And how does the step interface with this deteriorated portion right here?
Before, the steps just went between these two, and then that cheek wall came off of that. So I think we can clean those blocks up and leave that there, and then just have the steps between the two posts.
Okay,
So you're actually not extending the steps, just to make sure I understand. You're going to keep them in between?
Oh, yes, for
Um,
sure. I don't want to make them bigger than they were.
Yeah.
The problem, I had some pictures of this stuff
the
before.
railings on the inside.
That one? Yeah.
I just wanted to make,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure I was understanding what we were saying.
This rusticated block, I think you call it, hasn't been available for years and years and years. And
somebody needs to make that.
the other problem is, even if it was available, which it's not, it would be a totally different color
Than the other
than the old
color.
stuff that's there, which would even call more attention to the new thing. So the idea is to just put the steps back, simple concrete, poured concrete, and then use the existing metal railing that you can see there.
And that would go on the inside.
Yeah, that would be right in this,
Okay.
built right into the steps.
On both sides or just?
Well, there was only one, so if I can get it matched, I would probably build two. But if I can't get it matched perfectly, then I would just put the one on. It's, the height-wise, it's not a code thing.
So I'm still looking at the remainder of the rusticated block that will become exposed without the cheek walls. I'm just wondering if there's a different way to treat that so that it's not just, I assume you'd need to brush away any loose concrete material.
Yeah, brush the concrete.
The house I lived in on Lincoln Avenue had this sort of block foundation, and the block was very soft. And if you brushed it hard, it would fall apart, yeah. So I'm a little concerned about how that's gonna look. And you'll just put a smooth concrete finish over whatever is left?
I didn't want
Is that what
to
I'm just
put, I didn't want to
say?
put anything on the blocks. I wanted to leave those exposed, but I mean, I can put the cheek wall in front of it, it doesn't really
No,
matter.
I don't want to insist on a cheek wall. I'm just wondering how you've got the cap on the posts, and then it looks like there are 3 rusticated blocks that remain in serviceable condition. And then the ones below that are severely deteriorated because the cheek walls were up against this. So how are you going to finish?
I might have some better pictures.
Well, here, this one looks better. I just came down to that.
This yours?
Yeah, but he needs to tell me what he's going to do with it, though.
I'm going to do whatever you want me to do. I just want to put the thing
Yeah,
together.
but you guys, you know we don't tell you what we want you to do. You have to tell us what you want to do, and then we'll say if it's a good idea.
Thought I had a picture.
Well, I guess I would just say, and it's clear that the cheek walls were always separate.
Yeah, they
From the
weren't,
piers.
they weren't built into the piers,
Yeah.
they were on the surface.
See this?
You can see they're separate from. So I guess I don't necessarily have a concern about matching them, but I just want to know how you'll finish that, because leaving them, it looks like the ones on the right side in this photograph, it looks like they're sort of rounded. On this side right here, they look like they're, like what remains is almost rounded. And if you want to just knock it flat and parch it,
Oh, I see what
You
you're
know.
saying, yeah.
Jenny, is
No,
this a
that,
cap on here?
yes.
if you'll notice the right and the left, that, I think those little rounded pieces will be able to be taken off.
Yes.
And then you
So
will
you'll
just
just
see.
parch it with
Right,
smooth
yes.
concrete.
Yeah.
Would you be? And there's still, it has to project beyond the face of the skirt board there on the porch.
Mm-hmm. It's evident in this picture.
You know, I wonder about trimming out, carrying the skirt across here on either side here, and then parching smooth below that. I feel like
What do you mean by carrying the skirt? I don't know what that
if you applied, well, this is the skirt.
means. Right, that's wood though.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
That's what I'm suggesting. Trimming out this top piece and this top piece, trimming it out to match the porch. I don't know how that would look. I'd have to sketch it and see what it would look like. I'm just concerned about the interruption of the line of the porch. Well, then it's going to look like the block is sitting on
Yeah,
wood, so
I don't
wanna
that's not going to work.
I told
No,
you
all
I'd
right.
do anything you want, but I decided I don't want to do that.
No, I think it's,
Here's some pictures.
if you want to say that you're going to remove loose concrete
Oh,
and
yeah.
then hard smooth
Yeah,
over this exposed remaining.
well, you don't like the
remainder?
idea of the, what's that block called again?
Rusticated.
You don't like the
Rusticated,
look
yeah.
of that?
No, I don't mean above here.
I know,
I
but
mean,
it's
the one here.
rusticated all the way down.
I know, but it looks like the rustication is falling off.
Are you asking for clean surface?
No, it looks to me as though the rusticated block, as it goes down, is severely deteriorated and the face of the rustication is gone. Is that the case, Mike?
No, there's stuff,
Okay.
there's
Here.
scabs of the old stuff left over the
Here, that's
rusticated
what she's
stuff.
talking about.
Okay.
I think we can get that stuff off and clean the rusticated stuff.
Oh,
That's
got
what I'm
it,
saying.
got it. Then I
So
misunderstood.
from this,
That's fine.
is this going to be concrete from, is this
Yeah.
concrete over here or is it right
No,
there?
it would go from this corner over where
Yeah,
the old
okay.
steps were.
Yeah. The same number of treads and all that.
Same number of
Yeah,
treads,
okay.
same general profile.
But there won't be anything on the side or cheek.
I'd
cheek walls will be
rather,
gone.
I'd rather not do that, because again, that's gonna make it look different than those pillars or whatever, I mean, posts. And I think, again, smarter minds than me have suggested, let's minimize the look of the steps and enhance the posts behind them. Rather than having some smooth concrete over the front of that,
Yeah.
it's gonna make it look like, oh, that's a new set of steps on an old porch.
No, I think the better option is to not call attention to the fact that it's not the same block.
Right, yeah. Okay.
But I think that's going to depend on how well these pillars can be cleaned and if in fact
Yeah.
it matches.
Well,
Well, it may
those are
not-
definitely the same blocks, below the level as above level. They're the exact same.
Right.
It doesn't have to match exactly. I mean,
No,
the wear on historic material has its own significance. So I don't have a problem with it not being, it's not going to look exactly like the rusticated block above.
I
It's going
think
to
when
look
they're
like,
cleaned up, they're not gonna look that far different to me. I should have had a closer up picture of that. Thought I gave you one. The issue for me is whether I put that cheek wall up or not.
Yeah.
And
I don't,
it doesn't mean a lot to me, but I think it will look better without it. And then, obviously, I've had the mason over there, because these things were literally crumbling. They were very dangerous, so I actually built a side step for the time being. But I wouldn't be suggesting this way if I thought those posts weren't gonna look nice when we're done, so. And they're in good shape. They're not tipping or
That's-
anything, so.
That's good.
they just don't look good in the picture. That's my hesitation.
Yeah.
I care very much about
Well,
those posts more than
and
the
I-
cheek wall. If
I-
they're
I
not
think-
going to stay or if they're going
I
to look
think that-
crumbly, that's what I was.
I think
concerned
that
about.
picture is what you're seeing is the old remnants of the concrete that's attached.
Yeah.
It was attached
And I think
to,
it'll
close
clean
to
off
it.
and be
Okay,
okay.
okay.
the mortar that was holding the.
Yeah, the
cheek wall,
mortar that was bonding.
holding the cheek wall block to the.
So any other questions, ladies and gentlemen?
No, but in the application / in the approval, it will be that these towers will be clean. Like, how's that wording going to be to ease my concern?
Rehabilitated.
Yeah,
To the best of your
Restored
ability.
is Nancy, exactly, you want to do that.
Right, okay.
Can I ask one question about the material?
Yeah.
Would you ever consider wood steps? Or do you want to keep them concrete?
I would
Especially now that we're
consider
getting rid of
that,
the side.
I don't have that design, to be honest. There was concrete there, so I'm.
Of course.
I will replace it with mine.
Yeah.
That would be my
Okay.
request.
All
I
right,
think it's good to retain
We're trying
the
to.
previous material,
Yeah.
replace the material in kind, even if you can't replace the rusticated block to reproduce the cheek wall.
Okay. Other questions? All right, is there,
So to be clear, if I can get another set of those railings made exactly like.
the original, the side, one side
I
one?
still have the original,
Okay,
and that's actually in pretty good shape.
okay.
Do a little welding on it. But if I can get a second set made that will match it perfectly, I would like to put both railings on. If I can't, and same material and everything, if I can't, then I will just put them on. The mason who has a guy who does railings says he thinks he can get it made. So-
Yeah, I'd be surprised if you couldn't
Right.
have it fabricated to match exactly.
Right. But it would literally match
Okay,
exactly, or I'm not doing it.
Right.
So,
Which I want that in our,
okay.
yeah, I'm happy for you to put it in. I want to put it in there. So if I do two, nobody comes back and says, you only said one, or vice versa.
Okay. We have a motion on the floor?
you want me to walk this through?
You
for
can
a team
walk it
effort?
through.
I would like to make a motion to approve the application to replace the front cement porch steps that will be 6 feet wide and 24-inch tall with the same concrete material, to reuse the existing railing with the option to replace with an exact replica if available, and that the stone pillars will be, what was the Virginie?
Clean,
Just cleaned, well, you said not restored.
Rehabilitated.
Rehabilitated to be historically as accurate as possible.
A second.
Okay,
Findings?
Okay.
This application will comply with our village design principles. It will add to the historic status of the neighborhood and the resource. Any or two enough?
and it's compatible with
Yeah,
what was there
Village
before.
code.
Yeah.
Enhancing is
Enhancing the
is
building.
not, well, I wouldn't consider that a finding of
You know,
fact.
compatible,
If it's compatible or it's in keeping with.
yeah.
And it's replacing.
Enhancing is a value judgment.
And it's replacing steps that were already
Yeah.
concrete pieces.
You're replacing the existing, you're replacing the deteriorated, dangerous stairs to match existing.
Okay.
Okay, roll call vote. Member Searle?
Yes.
Member Evans?
Yes.
Member Olson?
Did we?
Yes.
Member Dubrowski?
Yes.
Chair Powell?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. All right. "16 Lincoln Avenue." Oh, that's,
Hi.
here, yes, tell us about what you want to do here.
Well,
See some pictures.
He doesn't want to look at that.
Yeah.
You don't want to look at this.
Well, I took pictures of what's existing. And what you're looking at in that particular picture is east, which is the parking lot of,
Breathe and everything back
well,
there.
no, not Breathe, it's Will Nothnagel, which is now Howard Hanna.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You also can see a picture in there that's on the same east side with a board-on-board fence that I built number 10. No, that's in the back. I'm number 10. It's, I built number 10 Lincoln. I moved it. I don't know if any of you were wrong when I did that.
Oh, that was a,
I built that house next door. I
Yeah.
lifted it.
yes,
moved
that was a blessing.
And I
Yeah.
built that fence.
Yeah.
I'm proposing either, I want to, now in this new property, I want to remove the current chain link fence that's there, that's rocked and deteriorated all along the east side.
Mhm.
I'm going to probably replace the fence going across the back, which is the north side of the property. It's currently, that fence is, an LLC owns that, yes, an LLC owns that property behind me. If you look at the actual,
That's nasty.
if you look at the actual drawing of the lot,
Mhm.
I'll show you a copy of it.
Yeah, we do, it's in there.
Yeah,
My property goes 7 foot beyond that fence back there. I'm gonna probably take the part of that fence down and put, I wanna have a common fence going around the whole perimeter of the property.
that's what you're indicating here.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So that would extend to also the existing shadow box that is kind of right up against the driveway.
That's correct. I'm either gonna do that same shadow box. You'll see another picture that I did, or of another fence I did in another piece of property. It's got the, more of a, yeah, there.
Yeah.
It's a shadow box, but it's got columns on it. This.
Yeah.
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 It's a little more detailed. I like it better. The challenge I've got is it's going up to the other fence that I did, so I don't know, I may
I want it to
just use.
match.
Pardon?
Want it to match.
I know. Or
There's a
I
lot of
convinced,
Probably, so it's.
or I convinced Teresa Natowski that bought the property for me to do the same sculpting.
Oh.
So near the front of the house, you transition down to 3
3
foot.
foot, yeah.
Yeah,
There's
across
no
the-
fence currently on the
Yeah.
west side, which I'm gonna put a fence there. Jim Burdette owns that property. And I don't know if any of you ever went over the property, but there's all kinds of garbage and old refrigerators and stoves and all kinds of things laying in like a junk pile there, so.
Okay,
Where is that? It's the property next door to me, to my, what number,
13.
you know? Well, I'm 16.
Same side of the street?
Yes,
Is it to the east or the west?
it's to the west of me.
Right.
The building inspector knows about it also. So I talked to Steve, is it Steve Moss? But I'm not here to, I want to put a fence up there.
okay,
I've got that, my property, to get into the apartment on the left-hand side of the house. You either have to go from the parking lot area around, and it's very unsightly, or you come on the left-hand side of the sidewalk, where I'm proposing to put back what is there, what's similar type of fence, board on board, but a 3-foot fence,
Yes.
3-foot gate.
So I'm.
That's behind the front line of the house.
This.
That's correct. It's currently there, it's 16 foot up to where there's
But
a,
he's taking.
a gate.
Yeah, yeah. What
This
size
is
gate?
an
I'm sorry?
existing.
What size gate?
It's currently there, the size of the sidewalk.
Matching it.
Yeah, 4-foot gate.
So this is,
Again, it's back
I was reading,
off the
aluminum fence.
front of the house.
Oh, yeah.
It's actually back behind the front of the porch,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
So
which is
yeah.
good, which is the way it should be.
okay.
So on the other side, which appears, let's call it east, because north is not directly at the top of the page, you're showing your line for the 6-foot fence on the east side coming beyond what would be in a line with the 3-foot section on the west.
What are you, you're looking at my, is this
I'm looking at the-
staple
If you look at the blue
Yeah.
highlighted bit,
See on
how
this
this
side?
one
Okay,
is
that's-
further?
No, it's
What's
not, that
you?
fence is currently there.
Yeah,
If you look, you see there's a line
Yeah.
back here, that's the back of number 10 Lincoln, next door to me.
So we're not
That's-
actually
Well, but
approving
You're
that
not, you're
part.
not
It's
proving
there.
that.
We're
I think when I
approving the extension
highlighted
of
it,
that.
I should have
So you're
highlighted
gonna butt
it.
up against the existing.
That's correct.
one, right? You're
This
not-
is currently, that's right, that's currently already there.
Okay.
I'm starting it right there.
Oh,
Sorry.
Yeah, so we're not
I-
approving for that part that does stick out, that point, but yes, it's
Oh.
valid. It
Yeah,
does stick out,
sorry.
but that's not his. We're approving the back portion to match what's already there.
Well, either match it, or I'm gonna do that sculpted one, but I don't know. if you guys-
well, you're showing,
I gotta tell you, that's what I said, all the probablys. I'm on board, but not the
I'll agree
probablys.
with it, but tell
would
me.
you, could I see where you're indicating? Because it's not clear.
Yeah,
It's
sorry.
not clear.
I shouldn't have done that highlight. It's, this is currently there.
Okay,
My
so we're
fence-
starting here. Got it.
That was confusing.
okay, yeah.
Sorry. And there's a tree here, up here too.
Okay, so.
Yeah, so I'm just going here, there, back here, down, and
Okay,
We're gonna need a revised,
No,
Yes,
right.
no, actually, that changed.
would you mind
Yeah, I'll print an issue.
initial it there
Sure.
and say, not an application or something like that for that little section?
Put a circle around it, so we, yeah, there you go.
So
760.
18.
So your fence is going to, the fence you're proposing is going to stop at lot
That's correct.
Yeah,
one, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm going to butt up to it.
right,
okay.
Just like that one.
yeah, no,
For
that's
that reason,
fine.
I think
I'm
it's
just for clarification for the minutes.
Well, I'm going to get Teresa to sculptures.
But you're not giving that to us today when we vote.
So
Okay.
what, are we looking at a sculpted fence?
You know what, forget about it. I'll go with the standard straight fence.
I don't, if you want to say that's what it is, that's okay. We just need to make sure that the record
I probably
reflects what you're going to
in
put.
reality, it's not going to look right to me when you pull in and you got the straight fence that I built before and then go into a sculpted fence.
That's
So
what I was
I'll
looking at
just,
you about, yeah.
So this,
are you a designer?
Lieutenant.
Yeah, it's just like
this is
that.
the fence you're going to put up.
That's right.
This is the fence. Okay.
Let's
Can we
attach
get
that.
this with your,
Here, with my, because it's all coming out of my packet, so put those two together.
It's less expensive also, so.
There we go.
See?
Okay.
It takes a lot of time.
Okay, are there any other questions? We've got clarification.
Currently, that back fence that's on the north has a gate on it that opens. You mentioned something about a gate to someone else.
Yeah.
It's currently there. I'll probably duplicate that. It kind of goes to the back parking lot and actually goes to the back of the property. So I'm moving that whole thing back
Okay,
on the lot line.
all right. Okay. We have a motion on the floor?
Not yet?
Not yet?
I'll make a motion to approve the application as presented.
Oh, almost, sorry, because we had the two fences in the application. Like, I think we need to say which
Not this.
fence that it matches, and,
Well, I think,
because it's been amended now.
but we have the document, he
Yeah, right there.
revised them.
Or
So-
the
And it's the amended
Yes.
application,
Yes.
it's just we say, okay.
Yes.
I'll second the amended application.
Okay.
Findings?
This application complies with the Village of Pittsburgh's design guidelines and presents no negative impact on the resource and is released.
Ding, ding, ding.
Okay.
Okay. Roll call vote. Member Searle?
Yes.
Member Evans?
Yes.
Member Olson?
Yes.
Member Dubrowski?
Yes.
Chair Power?
Yes,
Motion passes.
okay.
Thank you very much. That was
Good
simple.
luck. You got it.
Thank you.
All right.
I think it's gonna look great, I'm excited.
Yeah, thanks, get rid of that.
I'm gonna come look at it from the backside, be
Now
like,
we
look at how
have-
that matches.
We have an application close to home here.
Close to home.
Please come around and tell us about it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, what were
Oh,
you?
Mr. Dubrowski, thanks for coming in
Yes.
today.
I just wanted the whole experience.
First meeting,
I think you
keep it up.
need to recuse yourself.
I have.
Yeah, you did at the beginning.
Yeah.
Yes. So as you can see from my application, the goal is to move the fence line up 8 feet. So we'll be moving the fence line. The reason for that is to fence in the porch, so that way my children and dog can be let out without death on
Good
the
move.
highway there. And it's a stepped Victorian picket style I'll be doing. 4 foot high, specifically to match the existing side fence. There is a bit of a taper section that goes from 4 to 6 feet. That will remain in place, but I wanted to keep the height consistent. Love to.
So
Does that
yours is
require-
specifically where it says new here.
Correct, yeah, so this section, I should have used color, this section, this section, this section, and then that's a gate.
Would you like to mark?
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
So the taper stays, and then you continue it.
The taper is consistent with the existing shadow box especially once it gets up to 6 feet, which I felt would be more appropriate than creating a 6-foot picket fence.
So wait a minute, what am I?
I don't know if it's actually very visible in that picture, but on the side yard,
It's not,
I know
we're
my
not,
printer's terrible.
but we're not looking at this fence.
Correct.
We are looking at
That's the,
this fence,
that's the style I'm seeking approval for, correct?
in this gate.
And that gate.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to volunteer that too.
What are the dimensions of the spindles and the posts?
They are 4-inch posts, and the spindles are 1 3/4 pickets, 2 inches, when you buy them, but they're really 1 3/4. The space is, well, they are evenly spaced. There should be 28 or 22 pickets per section, but I believe the sections are pretty clearly 8 foot, but the goal is to get them equally spaced, so.
Well, I just,
Yes.
it's, if I had brought my fence book tonight, the spacing.
Is not exactly
There's a
equal.
relationship between the dimension of the picket and the dimension of the void. And it's, in this case, the void is,
If they're any
it looks
closer, you
like
could not have the
maybe
same number of pickets.
1 1/4 the width of the, 1 1/4 times the width of the picket, or maybe 1 1/2, it's pretty
Yeah,
hard to
just
tell.
very close, yeah.
Say as pictured,
But it's not, oh, but there's not a dimension on the picture, so it doesn't,
but we just did that for 3 fences. We didn't make them do the dimensions. So I guess I'm just
That's-
curious why.
That's, the reason why is because this fence is a different fence. This isn't a board-on-board fence. This isn't a shadow box fence. This is a particular, this is an historic fence style.
Design.
And so there is, the reason to ask for that detail, Kendra, is because this is not the exact same.
Great, as long as we're being
material.
consistent, I think it's great to put those standards out publicly.
Yeah.
Why we're asking on one and not the other. I think that was great for the
Well,
public. Thank
because
you, Ginny.
there was no spacing, there were no pickets and there was no spacing. That's why there's not a reason to ask for those dimensions.
Is that the kind of thing then for a board that we should be asking once this is submitted, not when the applicant arrives?
So you're saying it's more style oriented, this is
Correct.
the-
In fact,
yeah.
during my research for different, for that aluminum,
Nice,
I believe that there is nothing codified that specifies
okay.
the dimensions specifically, just more the style.
You have the dimensions somewhere, or you?
Yeah, well, the spacing, I have the jig from the previous one I made, but I want to say that they're not quite 2 inches, but they're not quite 1 1/2. And as you can imagine, from the gate, it's as needed to fit, because any closer and they wouldn't fit, and any further apart, and you could get another picket in there.
Yeah, okay. All right.
It's always dicey doing that spacing.
Oh, you just get a single piece that you rip on the table saw, and you just repeat it.
Good for you, all right.
That's a lot easier than drawing.
Okay, any other questions? No?
Oh, I know it's not subject to your purview, but those are the same hardware that I was using.
These two top pieces right here?
The hinge and the-
hinges, what about these top pieces?
About the cap.
Oh, no, that's just, I'm not, the cap on all of them will be a colonial flat style cap.
Okay.
That's just pictured in that because that's an existing gate that I already have that.
Okay.
Is there any profile? Are you going to slope the caps at all?
They are pointed.
Is this the cap?
Yep, pointed on each side.
Those are those the caps?
Yep,
Yeah,
as exactly as that is.
okay.
Well, this looks like it has a profile on the vertical pieces, plus on the top.
Oh, of the cap itself?
Yes.
Yeah, gosh, no, they are the pointed.
Well, no, I don't mean pointed, I mean they're beveled on the top.
Yeah, right. We used to just call it pointed because
Yeah.
there's the flats and the pointed.
Yeah.
But,
But the vertical edges are flat or profile?
There is a profile in there. They're your standard cap from Home Depot. I
Okay,
conflated the flat and the pointed because I bought a
Well-
replacement one that was flat, which I returned.
Yeah. Now, these look like they're a little vented up there, is that?
That's not what it's going to be.
Yeah, okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right. All right, anything else? Okay. I make a motion to vote on the fence proposed by Mr. Dabowski, and according to the images submitted and plans given to us on July 18th.
well, what are we supposed to vote on? Are we voting on approving or are we voting on?
We're
Not
both voting on approving it.
Okay,
Yeah.
you said we should
You
vote.
just said voting, you didn't
But you
say
didn't-
make a motion to
Well,
approve the
we're voting-
application.
The motion was
this
a little
vote
unclear.
is for approving, not disapproving, just to be sure.
I'll second the motion.
Okay.
Findings?
It's
Complies.
complies and very compatible with what is seen and according to village guidelines for fences. I used to have the page number down here for that, but it's in the book.
It's reversible. There's no negative impact on the
No.
historic.
And it's reversible.
It's reversible.
Yeah.
Okay, roll call vote. Member Dabrowski, you can't vote.
Abstain.
Member Olson?
Approved.
Member Evans?
Yes.
Member Searle?
Yes.
Chair Power?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay,
Super duper.
there we go.
No problem.
You want to, Dorothea, do you want to have this for the record? Just you mark that in. Okay,
Sure.
so, okay.
We'd like you to scan all the things again. I think that would.
Can you print this all out for me and then scan it?
No.
And speaking, the final item is the village. Okay,
And I'm very happy to see Jennifer and her colleague. I got a little panic there halfway through and I went, we're on the agenda.
Yes, yeah, we looked up, luckily, I was like, maybe we should check the agenda.
I don't think you're there.
No, Say hello.
Oh, no problem.
No, who in Albion?
Kevin Gardner.
You remember him? What's the building?
First Pres.
okay,
How are you?
great.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
I'm Jennifer Ahrens from Bureau Architecture. I'm the principal. This is Anna Denistrin, architectural associate. We've been working on this project since 2018. So we're here to give an update. Some of you are new, I see. So we're going to kind of go back. Virginia Searle was my business partner when we started this job. So you're recusing, right?
I'm not involved.
And I miss Virginia every day, don't we, Anna? Yeah, so I'm going to read my notes because I really
They've
thought.
come before us already for information.
Yeah,
so
yes, we presented the project on February 16th for concept review. Since that meeting, we've progressed the drawings right along into pretty much 75% construction documents. The fact is, when we want to move forward into construction, we'll be ready to go, and the village is ready. So we do need approval from you, your board, and also we'll be reviewing with the SHPO as well. The project started basically in 2018. We were approached by Al Herzog, who is the Legion commander, maybe currently the Legion.
He's still the Legion commander, he can't leave.
And it was Mayor Corby at the time, but Mayor Plummer has been working with us since then. Basically asking us to redesign this very cramped, crowded, dangerous, well, not dangerous, but very steep entrance down into the basement to improve safety conditions. We started out first with many ramps, lifts, elevators, everything, and really it came down to the fact that both to lessen the impact on the historic building, just to provide a very safe, good set of stairs with a good railing down, because exterior lifts are maintenance hazard or maintenance issues, lofts, as well as ramps. Ramps are really become this long-term, especially a very long one, which this one would have been. So essentially, in late 2021, Mayor Plummer and Dorothea contacted us to re-kick off the project. The goal is to replace the existing exterior steps to improve safety down to the Legion Room. So addressing safety improvements at these steps is the primary issue and concern. They're steep and narrow. They have a non-compliant guard for protection of the retaining walls. The interior also has a steep set of stairs with not compliant railings, with the door head and width not meeting current egress codes. This is the second means of egress for the basement steps. So how we did that, this just shows the photos. You can see here's our proposed new retaining walls with a new railing system. The railing system is to match the accessible ramp that was put in the 90s.
That was Richard's project.
Yeah, 90s or 2000s. So really, we're matching the railing system that's over at the accessible entrance. We are adding a canopy. The canopy will be set up a little off of the retaining wall, and it will have a standing seam copper roof to match.
So that just keeps water out of the lowest level in there?
Yes. You see, right here, you can see.
Now it's all open, isn't it?
Yeah, now, there's like a little board. There's a board.
Oh, the old board trick.
The old board trick, yes. So, so this is, as you walk down, there's an enlarged landing, and we're enlarging that masonry opening, so you would walk right onto the landing level. There's a current terrazzo landing that takes you 2 steps down onto, do I have an existing condition? No, but you guys have seen it. Right now, there's this steep little set of steps right there. So in order to get the proper head height for that door and the proper width, we're enlarging the masonry opening, so it will require a qualified mason to open up that. Then you'll come onto that landing and then come down onto the level of the American Legion with some railings to help you down. So the exterior design, again, mainly we're matching the hip roof with the standing seam roof as we have here, and code compliant.
You're also doing a walkway that ties.
Walkway, yes. Yeah. Right now, we're going to look for an alternate price to do a snow melt system. You have a snow melt system now.
What does that mean? I think I know what it means.
We don't shovel.
Yeah, well.
Heated sidewalk in this ramp?
Yes, the ramp has a snow melt system.
And we feel, given that it's the Legion members using that, it would make sense to have the same thing. Because right now, we cringe every time we don't allow them to use it in the wintertime, because it's too dangerous. Really needs to be replaced.
Okay.
And there is an accessible route to the basement already, where they would come in the accessible door, entrance door, and then take the wheelchair down.
Okay.
So that's the project. Are there any questions?
No.
Make sure I got everything, because I got off my, so we are looking for the alternate for the snow melt.
So even though there's a canopy there is still a drain?
There'll be a floor drain, so there's currently a floor drain there now, so we'll be extending it down.
All right.
The door will, we didn't talk about the door, we actually can't see a picture of the door. So, yes, I didn't have Anna, I wouldn't know what to do. The door is going to match the door that's currently in the stairwell over here. It's just a metal door with a single glass panel. So it's more just in keeping with the institution's exterior doors. So that's why we have the metal door. In our submission, we have a photo of the door.
The door will not be visible, however.
The door will not be visible, right? Thank you, Virginia.
Is the front egress to code on this building?
I don't think, well, yes.
Yeah, this
When was that done?
is, yeah.
Which do you mean,
The
the front
side
door here?
entrances.
Oh,
The side door is, the front is not, that's my understanding, you have to have one entrance. And then we have the chairlift that goes down. There's also a wheelchair lift to take them to the next level for the bathrooms. So we've adapted as best we can, given the structure.
And the bathrooms are now fully accessible. That was
Yes.
a project
Yes,
about
that
5
was our
years ago. Yeah.
So this is a long time coming. This is actually a grant the village received. We weren't able to act upon it.
Checked a lot of boxes
Now we are.
there.
We still have it, so
A lot
we
of things
might
to
use it.
consider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to be done.
It's a project, but it's, nothing's ever simple.
No, no, this one I'll be thrilled when it's done.
Okay. Well, with that, any questions down here? No?
Very fair,
Okay.
thank you.
No? Okay. Kendra,
No.
Okay.
Solid.
over here? Questions?
Nope, answered all my questions I have.
Okay, good. All right, good.
No. You wanna vote?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the application for 21 North Main Street as submitted.
A second.
Findings?
Findings, facts that
Complies with the village design principles.
is compatible with the design of the existing building as well as addresses community needs.
Safety needs, just the following stairs,
And
community members.
now, does this fall under ADA compliant, or is that also part of it? No,
No,
maybe not, okay.
And we couldn't get there.
No, all right,
we tried.
yeah,
We
it's all
worked
right,
on the
okay,
signs for it, but,
okay. Good.
Okay, roll call vote. Member Evans?
Yes.
Member Olson?
Yes.
Member Dubrowski?
Yes.
Chair Pollak?
Yes,
Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
okay,
so excuse me.
Okay.
Speak to Jennifer just for a second.
Okay, can we do this?
Sorry.
Yes.
yes.
Yes, I believe you have.
All right. We have, what do we have, two?
We have 3 minutes to approve, and then we can go on to the
May-
next thing.
Starting with May 16th, or, yeah.
I need Ginny because I wasn't here.
Any other, any additions?
Nobody at this table was here but you.
I was going to say, I don't have those.
Like, Ginny, are the only ones?
Yeah,
We don't have 3 to even vote on May 16th.
I vote yeah.
They just become the clerk's minutes, and that's what will be entered into the record.
Great, so that's the 16th.
Okay,
Yeah, the rules, is we go through the process of getting minutes approved. If they're unable to be approved by the board because you don't have a quorum, we can approve them ourselves, and typically the minutes are the clerk's themselves.
On that note, I was noticing that August was the last ones that were publicly available on our website.
I will check with Kristen.
Thank you.
I'm not sure what the holdup is. We've been working, she's been catching things up.
Not a criticism, I just noticed when I was looking for
So
something.
I'm sure we
so-
have them available for the public if needed, but we'll get them up.
yeah, I'd like to make a motion that we conclude the meeting.
Wait, we have 2 more sets of
We got 2 more
minutes.
sentences.
Oh, okay,
I'd like to make a motion that we approve
Go ahead.
the 13th minute,
It's going to be around.
but it's going to be you, me, and Ginny.
Okay.
that's all right.
yep, okay.
All right, June 13th. Any changes?
Yeah. Probably.
All right, so I'd like to make a motion that we approve our June 13th minutes as submitted.
Seconded.
Okay, roll call. Member Evans?
Yes.
Member Cyril?
Yes.
Chair Pollak?
Yes,
Motion passes.
okay. Now, we have one more
June
set.
27th.
Is
That little
This is
bit of
627.
agreement meeting, yep.
that- Yes.
We have three-
Any, sorry?
Do we have 3 people here?
We do not, so I guess
They-
it just
they
become
become
clerk's
the
minutes.
clerk and-
Yep, so now we can
Okay.
make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
Roll call. Member Cyril?
Yes.
Member Evans?
Yes.
Member Olson?
Yes.
Member Bobrowski?
Yes.
Chair Pollak?
yes,
Motion passes.
okay.
So we stop recording to go into our,
Yep.
Yes.
I'm going to leave my
Okay.
paper clips with you.
Okay, wow.